Hello, hello, and welcome back to War Thunder Naval. Today we bring out the USS Pensacola, one of those treaty heavy cruisers. So, not the best armor. The only thing we have to rely on is 8-inch guns, and looks like we're facing battleships. So, want to try to turn and be as slippery as possible, while also giving these 8-inch guns plenty of time to shine. So. Maybe I can try to get that ship there. That. Okay. Those shells landed a little closer than I'd like, so definitely going to try to start swinging the ship just a little bit more. I want to try to get as close to B as possible, maybe to that island, but that's going to require me swinging this large vessel. It looks like we're already on fire. Don't know where the fire broke out from, but right now as it stands, I'm going to set my first salvo off. And we've been hit on the bridge, it looks like. So somebody already has the range on us. I don't know who, but unfortunately that's going to heavily reduce our crew complement. No hits on that salvo there. Definitely trying to just avoid taking as much damage as possible as we get hit again. Yeah, looks like we're not doing so hot. Another hit. Hopefully those shells do something and get some damage on the board. And they hit the funnels, so nothing meaningful towards the enemy vessel. And try to drop the throttle and turn in. See if we can't try to do any damage to that Omaha class over there. Another fire. Engine room. Yep. Not having the best time at the moment. And I don't know why. We're gonna fire off another salvo at that cruiser. Try to figure out what's causing us to take all this damage. It's gotta be this ship right here. No, it's not. Although that time we were able to land some hits on the Omaha. Gonna try to start repairing. At 808. So that should be the perfect chance. Firing at that. And we'll see what happens. Doesn't look... Oh! It's a ton of good hits. Some ready use ammo, ammo elevator. But thankfully now we're able to get past the nonsense, and now we shouldn't have to worry nearly as much. Especially now that we're behind this island, we can just sail, get ourselves into a better position. Now that we're behind this island, we can see what exactly we're up against in terms of ships. There is an Atago. Or is that an Alba? Looks like Alba for Ataka. So that's a squad right there. Just going to swing this way and wait for the targeting computer. So we're going to stop the ship here behind this island and send that salvo out towards that Alba. See what happens there. So it looks like we got a good hit there. Not the best in the world. And send another salvo Let's see. We got a hit, but it didn't really do all too much. So, let's see what we can do there. Looks like he stopped, so those shells may not do what I anticipate. Hopefully they do. Nothing. Just a hit into empty space. So, now we'll see what we can do. Send another full salvo. Save the third turret. See what those do. There we go. That was a good hit there. And fire again. There we go. That hit the boiler room. Now let's see. Further firing. Should have backed a little bit further off, so we'll... Oh! We're actually hit and burning, so I think we'll have to deal with this closer vessel. Don't want that fire to spread. We land some hits on the Alba. And we're able to send a salvo at that destroyer. And that was a massive hit. That's wiped out the entirety of the boiler rooms. No doubt damaged critical components in there. And another salvo. It's going to hit more towards the aft of the ship. That's the transmission and a torpedo tube knocked out completely. So now we just got to see what happens next with this next salvo. Shots out. They clear the rocks up and over. And that's another direct hit. That's their entire propulsion system destroyed. And with their crew, not exactly the most responsive, they are going to start sinking shortly. Send those shots out. And that ship is sunk, the Ubari. It was actually a light cruiser. And we will start firing. Here come his shots. Hopefully they don't hit anything important. That's right in the engine room. Did not need that, nor want that. Alright, so now fire another salvo. So we take return fire, so our salvo's out and it's on its way. Sailing down, and nothing. Hit the turret itself. We'll send that salvo out and see what happens. The shots are landing. All right, so we actually did manage to hit it. And we don't take any kind of return fire. All right. And we're going to send a full salvo out that way. Let's see how those shells fall. They're coming and only hit the smoke funnel. Alright. So we're gonna swing this ship in. There's actually destroyers very close. Although I can't tell what just hit my rear. Try to bully the destroyers that are trying to close in. And there's one of them. We'll fire without locking on first. See what happens. And direct hit. Right to the magazine. Did not expect that to actually work. All stop. And it looks like we should be on range. And we're actually just ever so slightly ahead on the shot. Third turret does have damage, so the gun didn't fire. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Firing a full salvo. And that gets occluded by the rock, and our crew has taken a beating. So, unfortunately, looks like we may not be able to survive this. Maybe we can get some hits on that ship. We did get the Ognivoy destroyed, although we are sinking due to the fact we do not have the crew members required. So, we'll fire a last defiant salvo at that enemy before we sink. That being said, we do have a, what's it called, a respawn backup, so we're actually able to keep fighting. Although, admittedly, I do want to take out that ship right there. It's a battle cruiser of some description. I think it's Japanese. You can't tell where its guns are aimed. So we'll fire our two front guns at them and see what it does. I don't even know if we can get through that armor. We don't seem to do much of anything. So, that being said, we are just going to keep forging away at the armor, see what we can do. Fire another salvo. This time a little bit more guns. The arcs are incredible with these American 8-inch guns. We do manage to take out an auxiliary caliber turret. I know not much, but let's see what we can do. Try to damage as many modules. Try to take out important crew. Looks like instead we're just rewarded with some meager hits. And now we're occluded by the island, so we'll switch to a new target. The range is being measured, so let's see what happens. Give us that little red aiming chevron, and we'll fire a full broadside that way and see what happens. We are definitely starting to lose tickets at a higher rate. And we only take out their main fire director, which, while good in the sense that they can't fire back, doesn't really help us. So we're going to switch over to this destroyer over here, let the guns rotate. Only 7.5 kilometers away. As our PBJ above is getting torn apart. Fire another full broadside. He appears to be stopped, so those may miss. Yeah. Looks like he was able to get out of our line of fire. Well, stop. That shot may be thrown off, but you never know. They are falling quite nicely. Yeah, those are going to go far over where we needed them to go. We're going to fire again, but I don't know if those shells are going to land anywhere close to where we needed them to go. One hit, and that actually hit all the ammo, blacked it all out, so that is good in a way. We're going to fire a full broadside now, and hopefully those shells can replicate the last salvo. It's going to hit his transmission. It's going to yellow it out, looks like. So he's not even combat ineffective. Let's see what we got going on here. Fire another broadside. Hopefully those clear the rocks and can actually do more damage. Those have cleared the rocks, and that is that. He's down to 1% crew. So now we can swap over to this ship. Send a full salvo out at them. Looks like some Italian heavy cruiser, I think, I want to say. And that was the magazine going up, so he's done. And double kill. We got the Alwyn at the last seconds of the game. Not too bad.